As I settle in for a cozy night of browsing the internet, I find myself drawn to the relatable tales and struggles shared by fellow Redditors on the relationship advice subreddit. Tonight, I'll be diving into the personal stories of love, heartache, and everything in between, hoping to gain new perspectives and maybe even find some solace in knowing we're all just trying to navigate this wild thing called relationships together. My father, M73, gave his new wife, F63, my dead mom's wedding ring. So, my mom died several years ago, and my father remarried. When the new wife saw my dead mom's wedding ring, she decided that she should have it because the diamond was bigger than the one in her wedding ring. She is now wearing it and flaunting it to try and keep up with her rich friends. When my sister, 51, and I, 47, found out, we were livid and told our father this was unacceptable. He said it's his ring, and he can do whatever he wants with it, and we are being immature and rude. He doesn't even want to see our side. We are not asking for the ring, we just don't believe it should be on his new wife. How do we best handle the situation? And now for the next story. I, 23 female, feel like I should break up with my boyfriend, 22 male, because he acts like a teen? I've posted about this before, but ended up deleting it because I got nervous. But now I'm so helpless, and I don't know what to do. Me and my boyfriend have been together for 5 years. During that time, I graduated law school and started working full-time in the law field. During university, I had several internships so I could earn money. I'm very career-driven and aim higher and higher, wanting to build a future. Currently, I'm saving to buy an apartment. My boyfriend dropped out of university after 2 years because he wanted to switch majors. Then he spent several months doing nothing but gaming. Now he joined online computer science college and only watches the classes for 2 hours, 3 days a week. He has never looked for a job nor an internship. He has never worked. All he does is gaming all day, with friends on Discord. He gets upset whenever I mention that he should hit the gym, study more, learn how to drive, or get an internship. So I'm the one adulting. My routine, naturally, involves driving, running errands, working, going to the gym, medical appointments, doing groceries, basic adult stuff. Whenever I ask what he's up to, the answer is always playing online with friends. So I'm getting the ick because I feel like I'm dating a teenager. He doesn't even set his own medical appointments. His mom does so for him. On the other side, he's younger. He doesn't have to have his life figured out yet. He's an amazing boyfriend, has never once mistreated me or disrespected me. Always shows that he loves me and isn't afraid of commitment. So my anxiety might ruin a good relationship because in my head he should be acting like an adult by now. Info. He lives with his parents. I live with my mom, help around the house and contribute with the finances while saving to buy the apartment. We have a great relationship, so I don't want to leave her just yet, since she's a widow. Info 2. We don't want to have children. And now for the next story. 31. Male BF. 30 male, of almost 8 years, struggling with internal feelings and unsure how to handle. First, I know the title is wonky. I couldn't figure out how to word it as I am currently lost emotionally. Try to keep it to the point. We have a house, not in my name, with 5 other roommates. 3 are children. Considering the situation, I do a lot housekeeping, cleaning. I also do all the shopping, cooking, managing everyday needs of my BF 30 male, and I 31 male. We both work full-time, but I work from home. We have gotten into a fight regarding the cleaning and housekeeping being solely on me, and that I take care of him more than anything multiple times. We got into a similar fight this weekend, but this time I realized the core issue with me is that I don't mind doing all of these things, but I no longer feel loved, wanted, or even respected. There are certain things he does that just feel like blatant disregard for my feelings as we've talked about them before. Example, I'm sick today and have always expressed that sometimes I want my bedroom to be a peaceful place, since there's no escaping the children and the rest of the house. Yet he came home from work early and immediately turned the TV on full blast and hasn't stopped. Or, on weekends when he wakes up before I do, he will watch videos loudly on his phone next to my head until I wake up, at which point I have to take the dog out and start on my chores while he will continue to lay in bed. Has also emotionally cut off majority of the time, so talking to him is really hard. I love him more than anything, hence the amount of care I take of him. But I'm sort of stuck in my mind now thinking if this will ever change, or if maybe he's not in love with me anymore, and has officially started seeing me as an extremely convenient person to have since I do everything. Does anyone have any advice on how to start a conversation like this? Or if anyone been in a similar situation what they did? I don't particularly want to leave him, but I'm worried there might not be anything here for me anymore. And now for the next story. My husband, 34 male, told me that he made me, 33 female, suffer because he hated himself. And now I don't know what to do with that information. How do I let him go? I, 33 female, have been with my husband, 34 male, since I was 16. Married since I was 23. He was my first everything. Which is probably why it was no surprise that the red flags looked a little bit orange, and I ignored them. I began therapy in 2023, and my therapist brought to light all of the mental and financial abuse that I ignored. My husband could feel me pulling away from him, and the mental abuse turned into physical abuse. So in October, I left Atlanta and moved to a completely different state, with no support system. Well, I guess I never really had a support system, because with the exception of maybe 1 or 2 people, everyone else was under the lure of my husband's spell. Over the last few months, we've been in contact, adjusting to a new normal, but last night, he called me with a confession. He told me that he hated me for being everything that he wasn't. That crushed me. That he hated himself, so he chose to make my life as difficult as possible. No clue what brought up the random confession. Maybe to absolve him of some guilt? I'm struggling with an idea that the person that I loved with my whole being purposely hurt me physically, mentally, and financially, because I reminded them of what they weren't. He purposely tried to dim my light, and for a time he actually succeeded. But, stupidly, I still can't get him out of my system. I'm over 800 miles away, and the idea of learning another man's favorite food makes me sick to my stomach. But how could I even entertain the idea of taking this man back, especially after all he's done? For those of you who are in long-term relationships and finally ended it, what did you do? P.S. Yes, I do realize how stupid I sound. Now let's check out some of the comments on this post. He wants you to feel bad for him so that you ignore the fact that he wants to destroy you. It sounds like he is still abusing you, but this time mentally and emotionally. You need to end contact with him because he won't let you begin to heal and move on if you don't. Don't think about being with another man and learning their favorites. Figure out your own favorite. Find your own hobbies. Figure out who you are as a person, and not part of a couple. You've never had a chance to do it, and it's time. It's a subtle manipulation tactic, one he probably doesn't even realize he's doing. By creating a situation where she feels bad for him and wants to help him, she can't focus her energy on herself and processing how she feels. In trying to help him, she ends up fighting for him, and by proxy for the relationship. In the end, if things get better, she'll have a lot of distance from how she felt betrayed, angry, lied to, attacked, and have just spent that time essentially fighting for him and them. So she probably won't turn around, tell him to go fuck himself, and in the end they stay together. Block contact. Getting over your first everything is usually immensely difficult. So, don't think that the pain you're in means get back together. It's just the process. Trust me. Pour your energy into yourself 100% and take it one day at a time. You're on the start of a new path, and you will do great without him. Listen to this. You got this, OP. I ended my marriage of 23 years in late 2023. There was abuse in the marriage on both sides, but that isn't why it ended. What I have found just over a year later, that I had to cut all contact in order to give myself the focus I deserve to move forward. And now for the next story. Heart was drawn inside fiancé's 27 male car window, and I, 25 female, questioned him about it. Fianc went out with his friends the other night and didn't get home till 4 a.m. I was upset, but he apologized and we moved forward. Today he takes me out to dinner, and while in his car I notice there's a heart drawn on the inside of his front windshield. I ask him who's been in his car. At first he says no one, and that he thought I drew that in the car. I'm 7 months pregnant, and wouldn't lean forward to reach his front windshield to draw a effing heart. Then he proceeds to say, oh, him and his friend drove these 2 girls to their car after they left the bar, and the girl must have drawn the heart but all he did was take them to their car. Does this not sound like BS? Why are women in your car? And if you were simply dropping them off, why is your homeboy in the back with the other girl? I had to get space from him, so that I don't spaz out. Advice, anyone? Edit. Thanks for everyone's input. I know everyone is saying to leave, and that he cheated. But honestly, how do I make a decision like that when we live together? Baby's room is here. I'm due in less than 3 months. Baby showers in 2 weeks. And I have no family here in Atlanta. My family is in New York City. I don't have hardcore proof that he cheated. Lied, yes. And I've told him that I know he is lying and giving me a half-truth, but is insisting that nothing occurred and that he should have just been upfront. But he didn't even think about them being in his car when I initially asked, which is still bullshit to me. He doesn't go out often, so him having a night out with his friends was okay with me. But staying out till 4 was the issue. I just don't know how to move forward. I'm being stern with him, but alone and very emotional. Now let's check out some of the comments on this post. So his first thought was to lie then. He couldn't get away with the lie, so he started to trickle truth you. He's clearly full of shit. If it was just something innocent like a ride, why was his first instinct to lie? Actually, his first thought was to leave his pregnant GF at home and stay out until 4 in the morning. You don't understand. 2 women were in need of a ride. He couldn't just stay at home with his wife, knowing the world could not survive without his driving capabilities. What an altruistic man. 2 potential reasons anyone might lie about the above scenario. 1. They did something that would be considered cheating, or 2. Their partner is jealous type, so they've learned to omit or minimize any interaction with the opposite sex so as not to set them off. So, he's a cheater, or a liar. He is most definitely a bad liar. Might also be a cheater. Agreed. I would have just said I'd drawn the heart hoping she would notice, instead of lying that badly. Bro doesn't seem too bright. Like and subscribe for more awesome daily Reddit content. And don't forget to hit the bell to get notified when I upload new videos.